19 says, Missy and Carl work at different jobs. Missy earns $5 per hour and Carl earns $4 per hour. They each earn the same amount per week, but Carl works 2 more hours. How many hours a week does Carl work? Okay, as I'm reading that, I'm thinking I'm going to create an equation. But you might do a table. You can do any way that makes you comfortable. This is our rate, Missy. What you can send me in the chat, you can send me your answer. And I'm seeing that somebody was asking about the, if you have any questions, you can speak up in the Zoom on the microphone if you can't find where this is and so on. Okay, they each earn the same amount. So Missy's earnings, is that per week? So I call this like pseudo math because this is an equation in words. And that's also very helpful just to create an equation in words. There's no math really except for the equal sign. But it does say that they earn the same amount. So I know that something is equal here. Okay, but Carl works 2 more hours. How many hours a week does Carl work? So then we can say, well, how do we measure their weekly earnings? So we can say it's Missy's weekly earnings is going to be $5 times the amount of time. So the hours that Missy works. Now, how do we measure Carl's weekly earnings? Well, that's going to be $4 times Carl's hours. But they tell us that Carl's hours and Missy's hours are related in some way. Okay, so how can we use that information? So Carl works 2 more hours, it says. So it says Carl equals 2 plus Missy's hours. Right, so the number of hours that Carl works is going to be 2 hours plus Missy's hours. So we can use that information now in our equation. And I get that 5m equals 4 times 2 plus m. So I'm going to distribute that. And again, you can feel free to write the answers. I don't see any yet. Maybe it's in my other one. Okay, I see one. Good. So now I'm just solving this equation. You want to combine like terms, so you are going to be using algebra in this course. So now I'm subtracting 4m from both sides. And I have that m is equal to 8. So that means that Missy works 8 hours. And that means that Carl works 2 more. Does this seem reasonable? Okay, you want to always ask yourself that at the end of solving. Okay, it does seem reasonable to me. Now, especially with word problems, you want to go back and check the question and see if you've actually answered the question at hand. So this says, how many hours a week does Carl work? So the actual answer we're looking for is 10 hours. Okay, can we check our work? Yes. So we have Carl, if he's working 10 hours, that's going to be 10 times $4. That's 40 buckaroos. Okay, that's got to be equal to Missy's. So Missy's is going to be 8 hours times $5. Again, 40 bucks. So that makes me happy because that means we have a correct answer. Okay, their earnings are the same when Carl works 10 hours and Missy works 8 hours. Good, so we went through the whole problem solving process.